So this is all the rights which we have seen. Okay. Then after that, we also seen the importance and significance of the rights. And now we are going to understand about how the rights are and kinds of the rights are there. Generally, the classifications of the rights, if you see the first one, legal rights. What is that? There are types of the rights which we can see. And how many types of rights which we can find it here is that, and we can see there are numerous types of a right. Let me tell you the first right, a kind of a right, which is legal right. What is it? It is a legal right. What does it mean, legal right? See, a right which consists of a legality is called it as a legal right. Say, for example, you know that if it is being recognized by a state, if rights are, it consists of a legality, which means those rights are being recognized by a state, which shall be named as a legal right. Do you understand my point? What is a legal right? In the kinds of rights which I'm teaching you, in the kinds of rights, we have a few rights. One among them, the first right is that legal right. What does it mean, legal right? Legal right is a right which has a statutory recognition by the state. Legal right is a right where it can be protected by the state, which shall be called it as a legal right. You know that, say for example, if you have 100 acres of land, okay, someone that is encroaching in your land. Okay, see, I'm an X person, you are an Y person. I have 100 acres of land and it's my property. I have a proper documents on all of them. You as a Y person, if you are encroaching in my and land without having any document, if you are doing a certain domination on me in order to take out of my land. So if I approach to the state, if I approach to the court and all of them, the court will protect me in order to protection of my and property. Okay. So any of a right, if it should be recognized by state, if those rights are being legalized and statutory by a government of concerned state, that it shall be called it as a legal right. Legal right which helps each and every individual in order to protections of their all the assets, all their rights and all of them. Do you understand that? So if you see that, what are the and legal right you have in our constitution? Right to speak, it's your legal right. You have every right to speak up and right to enjoy the freedom which are provided by the Indian Constitution. It's your legal right. You can enjoy it. So if any right, that right to talk, right to study, okay, right to opt any of a form of profession, right to become an engineer, right to become an IAS officer, anything you can become and without having any kind of a restriction. If somebody do you think that it's someone who restrains to you that to not to listen the class online? No one restrains to you that. It is your right that one can log in and one can listen the class. Similarly, in the state, if you want to enjoy, if you want to become an IAS officer, the state will restrains to you that and you should become a teacher, you should not become an IAS officer. This kind of a thing which will not be entertained because you have every right to enjoy your life. You have every right to provide it you in order to accomplishments of your desire. If such things are going to be violated, you can approach to the court in order to replenish them. If such rights are mentioned in the, you have an, right to speak, right to liberty, okay, and, right to walk from one another place, right to opt a profession, and all these things which it can be protected in our Indian Constitution in order to enjoy of that. Next one, political rights. What does it mean in a political right? See, a political right is a right which provided on all the opportunities to be a part of any political activity of a state. A political rights are a rights which provided an opportunity every individual to be a part and parcel of every political activity of a state. What does it mean? First, you need to understand. And in the politics, what are the political rights? There's a second kind of a right is that a political right. What does it mean, polity? Polity is a word, it is a state. And it is a state which consists of a numerous population. Do you understand my point? Polity is a word, it has come from polis word. Polis means city or state, isn't it? So in a civilians, citizens who are living in the particular state, if they do enjoy all their, opportunities in the state, which are relevant to the point of a state affairs. Okay. Say, for example, if I am being a part of state, I'm an Indian citizenship. Okay. Think that I'm an Indian citizenship. I have an every right to participate in the activities of an India. Okay. Like I can vote. Okay. All the political right. If a person would like to enjoy all the benefits of the politics of the state, what are the political benefits? You can contest for the election at any of a point of the, that a nation. You can vote to the party. You can enjoy the vote rights. You can enjoy the political rights, such as involving into the policies making and enjoying the policies, and also enjoying the political benefits into the state, and everything in order to providing the entire and wholesome political opportunities to the every individual, that it shall be called it as an political rights. Say, for example, the political rights which it can be, and provided to every individual in order to and aware of the state affairs, isn't it? One should aware of the state affairs. See, for example, if you are, be a citizenship of India, if you possess certain qualification, you can contest for the Prime Minister to President of India. Doesn't require to that, and you should be a rich man, you should become a certain caste people. This kind of things which did not mention anywhere in the political system of a country. You can become anything, and you can contest for any position, except and if you have a proper and age, qualifications and all of that. So if you and state, if it is provided in all the opportunities to be a part and parcel of the state affairs and political affairs, such as contesting for the any of a political opportunity, and also there's an vote rights, and to be a part and parcel of the political affairs of the state, and all these things which is provided to the every individual in the state, such rights shall be treated as an political rights. Do you understand that? If you see that there is a difference in the 16th and 17th and 18th century, many of political thinkers talk about and natural rights. So these natural rights at that point of time also used to indirectly explains about the concept of the political right. Next one is an individual, independent hub, a kind of a right. What does it mean? Right of individual liberty. Okay. Individual liberty rights. Say, for example, you have, that as every citizen, in India, what is a state? I say city or state. A city will be formed with a group of people. A people is nothing but in every individual. So individual rights, right to individual rights we have. Right to individual which are provided and strengthened in the Indian Constitution, whereas it talks about in every individual has a right to opportunity, right of opportunity to enjoy it, right of independence to talk about anything, such as, that, for example, he must be, he can enjoy any of a profession. Okay. Individual liberties, individual freedom also is provided. If anything which is provided an individual freedom, the such right which will be called it as an individual rights. Okay. Like right of expression. Another one is that right of liberty, if I talk about, and right of expression, which is called bhava prakatana swatantra, isn't it? See, if you are being a part of an India, if you are a citizen of India, you have every right to express your feeling about and the political matters of the state. Do you understand my point? You are a citizen of India. You have because you have a right to freedom of speech, right to expression. You have a right to freedom of expression, right to speech. Say, for example, if I ask you the questions about it and tell about certain things about political and that in political state of KCR, isn't it? And you can speak anything, whether you can express the thing, whether the administrations are going in the right way or whether the administrations is not going in the right way. You can speak because you have provided adequately right of freedom of expressions, where a person can enjoy the freedom of expression, his expressions in order to talk about anything of a state. That is another one. Next one is on human rights. This is very, very important. You should understand that. What are the difference between the rights and the human rights? You know that all rights are made with in order to protection of citizens. why this is a word has come. It's a very importantly that is called human rights concept. First, let me tell you where actually it becomes a universalized. Today, human rights have become a universalized right. Do you understand my point? Human rights, it becomes a universal right. Do you understand? So one is listening the class. Emmanuel Kumari. Okay. Do you have your friends and can you keep a message to your other friend so that I ask them to join in the class? You are one only. Is it my voice
Sir,
is audible to you?
no. I can hear
Manuel,
you, sir. I can hear you. Can you hear me?
1 second. I was listening. Can you hear me now? Is it
Hello?
my
I
voice
can
is
hear you.
yes.
I can hear you, sir. Can you hear me?
Yeah, sure. Could you please inform to your other friends so that they can join in the session?
I don't know anybody who does political science, sir. Sorry.
Okay, no problem. Okay, you listen that. So the
Okay.
another one is which I'm going to talk about. See, are you all following me since in the day when you join here? I'm talking about the kinds of rights.
Yes.
This is a part of your second semester, second unit, the first
Yes.
topic. Okay.
Yes.
Which is rights. So what is the rights means? I said rights are an entitlement of every individual. Okay. Those entitlements which helps to the every individual in order to accomplishments of their things, such as if I want to become an IAS officer, I can become because I have a right, isn't it? If you
Yes,
want
sir.
to become a chief minister, that you have a right to become a chief minister because you have provided a political rights to you, isn't it?
Yes.
So
Yes.
the rights are essential for the every individual's life development. Can you imagine without a right, is it a possible of human existence on earth? It won't be possible. Okay.
Yes.
Today, see, for example, if you go anywhere, okay, we often pronounce the word rights. Okay. Rights are because it has provided a platform to lead your life without having any restrictions, isn't it? So,
Yes,
in
sir.
keeping in view of that, the rights and also at the same time in the in the Greek system for the first time entire of our political science for the first time it is Genesis in Greeks. Okay, the I think you heard the name of an authors Socrates, Aristotle, Plato. Even those time also we have seen the existence of the rights. So in another word, I can say the rights have born at the time of human born. Okay.
Yeah.
The rights are born at the time of human born, isn't it?
Yes,
So
sir.
this is something which goes each other. So a man life, if it is need to be possible on the earth, a man should enjoy his rights. The absence of rights lead to absence of humans on the earth, isn't it?
Yes,
So,
sir.
and why I'm telling this example is that if you go to the desert, can you talk about animal rights? You can't talk about animal rights. Even today, the rights of animal also we are talking by humans itself. So we are
Yes, sir.
making certain laws in order to protections of every an animal. We are bringing certain act, certain rights to them in order to protections of animals also. So the existence and the importance of the rights, if you could see, that it has made for the existence of human in the right way, in the sophisticated way, isn't it? So in
Yes, sir.
keeping in view of that, the rights we have and the kinds of rights we have, isn't it? So if you want to know the entire and discussions, so we have a certain kinds of rights, which I've said the first one, right? Legal right. What does it mean, legal? Legal is a word which is unsaid in a political science. If the right is protected, recognized by a state, is called legal right. A
Yes,
right
sir.
which is protected by a state or recognized by a state, which if it has a nature of statutory, is called a legal right, isn't it? Legal
Yes.
right is something which protected the life of every individual in the nation. For example, I said that if you want to opt any profession, you can opt it. Nobody should restrain you. Say, for example, I was trying to give the example in the same class. See, for example, I have an X and Y. The discussions is going on between X and Y. I'm trying to convince you that what is the meaning of legal right? and
Yes, sir.
listen carefully. See, I haven't, there are two characteristics, X and Y. Think that X is a one person, Y is another person. In X has 100 acres of land. Y doesn't have it. But he has a lot of strength. With that strength, he's trying to encroach in your property. He's trying to take away your property and on his name, isn't it? So what do you do it? Okay. See, since you are a weak person, you can't fight against the person that is who is a strength, who has an immense strength in you, isn't it? So where you have to go it, and you have to go to the state. Okay, you have to go to the state. State where it consists of a lot of institutions such as Supreme Court, you can say, such as the state high courts you have, district courts you have. So you can and ask the state to that, I have every right in order to acquire the property, but at the same time, no other has a right to encroach in my rights, encroach in my property. Do you understand that? If such things has happened, then you can question to the state in order to protect me. So X can be protected by a state because, and the property has a statutory. In order to protection of the property, it's a part of a legal right, isn't it? It's a part of a legal right. So a right which is protected, recognized, when if it has a statutory by state of that it shall be called it as a legal right. The legal rights are the rights which have a lot of restrictions. Legal rights are the rights which has a lot of restrictions. Do you understand my point? See, rights to some extent one can use it. If beyond the restrictions, if beyond the certain things, if you could use the right, that it shall be called it as a rights violation. Do you understand my point? The rights are to some points one can enjoy it. If the point is beyond it, if it is crossing or breaching or transgressing the territory of the rights, that it shall be called it as a violation of a right. So how much the state is providing a legal right, at the same time, it also providing the certain restrictions to the person to not to utilize the legal right to some extent where it is going to violate it, isn't it? So legal rights is simple in a mechanism, I'll tell you. Legal rights are a right which has a statutory and nature. Legal rights are the rights which are protected and recognized by a state. If that it shall be called it as a legal rights. Okay. Next one. I'll tell you. The another one is that political right. What does it mean, political right? Political rights are rights which would provide an opportunity to every individual in the nation to be a part of the political system of a state, isn't it?
Yes.
The political rights are the rights which provided an opportunity to every individual to become a part and parcel of the political activities of a state. Say, for example, what kind of a political right you and me have? See, being as a citizen of India, I can vote any party. Okay.
Yes.
So I can vote any party. This is my right. What is the right? It is the political right, isn't it? So I have a political right to enjoy, to contest for any of a position and right from grassroots level to national level elections. Do you know that? And so providing an opportunity to be a part of any election and to providing an opportunity by state to every individual to enjoy the casting of vote and to enjoy the certain benefits from the political system of the state, that it shall be called as a political rights. Isn't it? This is the second right. The third one is that, if I'm telling you, what is the third right which we can see in our Indian Constitution as well as in the political side? Right of freedom of expression. You can say right of liberty. Okay. In the first and the last previous session, in the last week, which I was talking about liberty, the first lesson in the first unit, if you could see, and that which is called Swecha. Okay, that is a liberty. What is liberty? Liberty is a word derived from Latin language, liber. Liber in a Latin language means no restraints, no constraints. Okay, no restraints and no constraints. Do you understand my point?
No.
Yes. So then, what is a right of liberty? Right of liberty is a right of a state which provided all the opportunities to the person to enjoy his appropriate life. To enjoy his appropriate life. Okay. So, as in keeping in view of that, if I would tell you in the right of liberty, you can move from one place to another place in India. I'm talking about until and unless you cross the border of India, you have an every right of liberty. You can enjoy the profession, you can speak anything, you can move from one place to another place. That it's been infused in the Indian Constitution from in a fundamental right, isn't it? 19th article in the Indian Constitution talk about the rights of liberties, isn't it? So this is a kind of liberties as something that is provided to you to enjoy all the certain benefits to move from one place to another place and all. This is the one kind of a right for the existence of human being, isn't it? Say, for
Yes, sir.
example, if I say you that, how right of liberty can be violated. I'll tell you the example to you. So today you are talking about a certain thing. Say, for example, you are talking about, you are moving from one place to another place. Let us say, right to liberty. So if the state government restrains to you that, then you should not supposed to move from Hyderabad to your native place, will it be treated as having an individual right in the state of Telangana?
Violation. It will be violation.
Yeah, there is no point of reason. There is that it shall be called it as a violation. So because you are given a freedom of rights, you can move from one place to another place within India. Okay, if you are a common Indian, common citizenship of India, you have every right. So in keeping in view of that, what I am trying to tell it here is that the right of liberty is also a kind of a right which is being a part and parcel of the rights concept of your lesson. Next one is that, right of freedom of expression, right of freedom of expression. And now it is in the news. I think you might have read somewhere in the newspaper. I'm sure that today's it is going to become a lot of controversy that one should not speak against the political parties. One should not speak against any of a designated person. Such as, recently Rahul Gandhi has been arrested.
Yes.
The way what he has used excessive power of right to freedom of expression, that it can be treated as a habitual offense, which means यहाँ पे कोई are you perfect in Hindi?
हाँ सर आप बोल सकते हैं मैं सब में परफेक्ट हूँ सर परफेक्ट नहीं मगर समझ सकता हूँ
हाँ देखिए वेरी गुड देखिए यहाँ पे राइट ऑफ एक्सप्रेशन के माने होते हैं जो आप समझ सकते हैं तो उसको बात भी कर सकते हैं आप जो समझ रहे हैं उसके लिए कुछ बात भी कर सकते हैं इसका मतलब नहीं कि जो आप बात कर रहे हैं सब सारे चीज उसको वायलेट करेंगे डू यू अंडरस्टैंड माय पॉइंट See, for example, Rahul Gandhi talk about certain things which causes and disturbances of a national progress. And he was raising a certain points that, and the things are not in a well way, and which is making certain interventions that in regressing the country, okay, not progressing the country. So when certain things is spoke, and the people have filed the case against them, that he was telling that he has been used as certain things which has violated the other right of expression. Isn't it?
Right.
There is no ground of thing, but even then it's been an arrest. Of course. So देखिए यहाँ पे क्या बोला जाता है मतलब हर आदमी को कुछ देश के बारे में बात करने का और हर आदमी को जो चीज रॉन्ग है उसके ऊपर बात करने का एक्सप्रेशन देने का हक होता है. Say for example, your mom has prepared a curry at home, but you did not like it. You can express it. It doesn't mean that you are violating the respect of your mother. Do you understand that? It is a fact that whether you are a bitter, it's a bitter. Whether it is a sweeter is a sweeter, isn't it? Fact is a fact. If certain things is wrong, you can have an every right to express your feeling. Do you understand my point? So right of expression also is a right which are provided in every individual in the state of and nation, isn't it? So right of expression will become one kind of a right, and in your lesson is also given in the 45th page number. If you could see that right of expression, right of liberty and all of that, isn't it?
Yes.
Next one, human rights.
Yes.
The another point is that human right. See, which I will tell you that the concept of the right, which was Genesis in the past 100 years ago. Okay, I think not 100 years ago, when the political science of birth, and at the same time, the rights of birth took place birth, isn't it? So human rights declaration, what does it mean though? Human rights mean, what is human rights is that? I'll tell you what. Human rights are the rights which protected the importance of a human being on earth. Okay, human rights are the rights which protected the importance of human on earth, and also it protected any kind of a violation against the humans. देखिए आप हम सारे देश में ये हो रहा है कि यू नो दैट यूक्रेन में अगर देखा जाए तो क्रूज
हाँ
मिसाइल्स यूज कर आदमी बहुत सारे लोग मारे जाए. ओके,
हाँ सर
सिमिलरली अगर आप देखते हैं रिसेंटली यू नो जब यहाँ पे द कंट्री व्हाट इज इट कॉल्ड रिसेंटली इट हैज कम इनटू द न्यूज़, सूडान. ओके, सूडान में
हाँ
सारे लोग मारे गए, isn't it?
यस सर
देखिए
यस सर
यहाँ पे ह्यूमन राइट्स का मतलब है कि कोई लोग यहाँ पे हर आदमी को दुनिया में
जीने का
जीने का
हक है
हक दे, हाँ हक है.
हाँ हाँ सर
तो और किसी आदमी को भी ये हक नहीं दिया गया है कि दूसरे आदमी को मारने के लिए. डू यू
हाँ सर
अंडरस्टैंड दैट? अगर
हाँ
आप कोई आदमी किसी आदमी को मारा जाए और मारा तो दैट इट शिल बी ट्रीटेड एज एन वायलेशन. तो
हाँ
यहाँ पे दुनिया में क्या हो रहा है, डिस्पाइट फंडामेंटल राइट्स यू हैव एन अनदर राइट व्हिच इज कॉल्ड ह्यूमन राइट. इसका
हाँ सर
मतलब होता है, देखिए, a rights which are protected the importance of human on earth as well as and the rights which are protecting the humans on earth. Okay,
हाँ
humans को क्योंकि क्यों यहाँ पे लिया गया ह्यूमन राइट्स, 1948 में यूनाइटेड नेशंस ऑफ ऑर्गेनाइजेशन ने इसके ऊपर एक डिक्लेरेशन किया, उसको यूनिवर्सल डिक्लेरेशन ऑफ ह्यूमन राइट्स. तो मतलब हर देश में यहाँ पे सारे 197 कंट्री से अभी जो रिकॉग्नाइज किया गया है यूएन के तहत, ये सारे देश, all these countries most probably which was recognized, the recognized countries even they are committing certain mistake against the humans. It's a kind of a crime. एक आदमी दूसरे आदमी को मार रहा एंड एक देश दूसरे आदमी को ट्रीट कर रहा है कि some a kind of a feudal tendencies they are using against the humans, isn't it? तो
यस सर
उसके लिए बचाने के लिए, isn't it? अब देखिए म्यांमार and the most of and cruel things has happened in Pakistan. You take it as an example. In Afghanistan, how Taliban are creating a lot of distractions against the same own community as Muslims, isn't it?
हाँ सर
And Sudan, in the Palestine, if you see that, Israel, how they are committing each other, isn't it? So what I'm trying to say that there is a lot of crisis in order to protections of humans.
हाँ सर
So in order to protecting of every humans, then Universal Declaration of Human Rights has been done by United Nations of Organization, specifically protecting the crime, protecting humans against the crimes. जो crimes हो रहे हैं, murders हो रहे हैं, bombing हो रहे हैं, isn't it? And
हाँ सर
using poisonous gases and killing them. Okay, all this thing in order to stop them, Universal Declaration of Human Rights is brought up by the United Nations of Organization. It's one of the international organizations in the world. So यहाँ पे क्या है, human rights के मतलब क्या कर सकते हैं human rights? I said the what is a legal right. I said what is political right. But what is the meaning of human rights? Human rights means that protecting every individual from a crimes. See, you can't kill a person first without any reason, isn't it? And
हाँ
you cannot, and that use a kind of a trafficking against the human. Today, if you could see in the newspaper, in the last week, if you could see in the Gujarat report, one of the report has given every 20 minutes, 100 girls are missing from Gujarat. Where they are going, how they are going, we don't know that. So, which means that protecting every individual against the crime is one of the human rights. And another one is a misusing of humans, which is called trafficking. Trafficking के माने होते हैं, आपको पता है? Trafficking के
उठा के
माने
ले
yes. So which means trafficking also, preventing trafficking also the part of
human rights
human rights. Today in the world, if you see acid attacks, it keeps on going on.
yes
That male are doing an attacks on females, isn't it?
yes
So one human is killing to another human. So what I'm trying to say, any kind of a crimes, if it is indulging, to stop them is a final and ultimate agenda of human rights.
yes
So the 1948, the United Nations of Organization has come into the effect to protecting each and every person's life, isn't it? They have an every
yes
right to take a food. और दूसरा चीज ये है, हर आदमी को कौन सा फूड खाना है तो खा सकते हैं, isn't it? It does
हाँ
not restricted a person that you should eat this food. तो अगर आप एक आदमी को आप यही फूड खाना चाहिए, अगर स्टेट गवर्नमेंट ने रिस्ट्रिक्ट किया, तो वो भी ह्यूमन राइट्स वायलेशन के नीचे आ जाए। Do you understand my point? Today,
हाँ सर,
no, if you wish to eat the burger, eat it. Okay. If you wish to eat and dal rice, eat it. If you wish to eat a non-veg, eat it. Okay, it's your interest, it is your crave, it is your appetite. No one has a right to control your appetite. If somebody is control your appetite, that it should be treated as a violation of human rights. तो यहाँ पे सारे चार्टर में लिखा गया है यूनाइटेड नेशंस ऑफ ऑर्गेनाइजेशन ह्यूमन राइट्स के मतलब क्या होता है। ह्यूमन राइट्स का मतलब होता है आदमी के जो भी इंडिविजुअल के ऊपर क्राइम्स हो रहा है उसको बचाना चाहिए, और दूसरा ये चीज है तो मिसयूज ऑफ ह्यूमंस किया जा रहा है उसको भी बचाना चाहिए, और उनका फूड स्टाइल को भी प्रोटेक्ट करना चाहिए, उनका हेल्थ को भी प्रोटेक्ट करना चाहिए, एंड उनके अथॉरिटीज को भी प्रोटेक्ट करना चाहिए। All these things it shall comes under the purview of human rights protection. Do you understand my point?
हाँ सर,
हर चीज को प्रोटेक्ट करना है, and these are all the things which it can comes under the purview of rights theory. So, and apart from that, rights theory becomes very so popular, and the human rights has become so popular in order to that. Today, you know that some countries have been also bringing certain things to kill the old people, old age people, isn't it? 60, 54 years and 55 years agar aage. So some countries have legalized to that and to killing them because they are not no more human manpower to the country's contribution, isn't it? तो यहाँ पे किसी चीज को जैसा कि in our Telangana, if you could see, there are system misuse of female को देवदास सिस्टम है, जोगिनी सिस्टम है,
हाँ,
समझ सकते हैं। हाँ, पुराना सिस्टम है, जैसा कि देवदासी के मतलब एक लड़की को जो 6 इयर्स के बाद में जो टेम्पल को डेडिकेट करना चाहिए, वो लड़की की किसी तरह की अथॉरिटी है तो उसको शादी करे। ओके, जो है जो नॉर्मल फैमिली लाइफ को गुजारे, ये सारे चीज उनको कर्टेल कर दे। ओके, आई थिंक यू माइट हैव सीन समवेयर इन द सिकंदराबाद बोनाल देयर इज अ जोगिनी सिस्टम। जोगिन्स विल कम एंड डांस दैट Jogin will come that they clean the temple. So their entire life they must be dedicated to the cleaning the temple. They should not supposed to have a normal marriage how the normal girl done it. So their entire life sacrifices to that, isn't it? So ये सारे चीज को यहाँ पे प्रोटेक्ट करना है, सारे ये superstitions को भी impose करना है, सारे चीज को, these are all the things which comes under the purview of and protection of human rights. So this is all about and rights and all of that which I've said it about. If you could see Lasky, H.J. Lasky, one of the authors in the political science, have quoted about a right. Rights are the thing which are protected and every citizen of a nation. Rights are some of the element which is protected to the every citizen of a nation shall be treated as the rights which are said by, and that the name of the person is H.J. Lasky. One of the important scholars of the political science so far by now, isn't it? Next one, the 5th chapter in your class is that, in your book is that, you can see in the page number 50, that is justice. Justice. Okay. Justice ke mane hote hai. What is the justice? We will feel in the law. There is a word, Latin word, it is called justin. Okay. Justice word ko Justin word se liya gaya na. Justin ke mane hai doing the things in a right way. हर काम को सही तरीके से करना है justice. Okay, if you see that, there are mythological books. You take it as Hindu mythology, Christian mythology, Muslim mythology, Zoroastrian mythology, Jewish mythology. हर mythology में एक virtue होता है. Virtue के माने होते हैं धर्म. Okay, धर्म मतलब, can you tell me the definition धर्म?
जो सही होता है शायद.
Yes, I'll tell you one example which quoted by Plato. That dharam means, what Plato said is one of the greatest thinkers in the political science. He compared with 3 things to understand the justice. एक होता है good spoon, okay? एक होता है good horse, okay? तीसरा होता है good knife. Knife के माने मानते हैं? It's not a wife. It's a knife, isn't it? Knife matlab, a knife which it can use for cutting. Okay, I'll tell you one thing. What is the right thing that I'll tell you? A good school. Let me tell you, good school के माने होते हैं a good teacher should impart a knowledge to the student which is useful for their life progress.
हाँ सर.
Do you understand my point? A good school होता है सारे तरह के knowledge जो भी students के अंदर पढ़ाया जा रहा, दी जा रहा, ये सही तरीके में रहना चाहिए. Okay?
हाँ सर.
Which मतलब क्या सही तरीके में knowledge का मतलब होता है ये knowledge लेकर उन लाइफ में सही तरीके से प्रोग्रेस होना चाहिए.
हाँ.
Which shall be called as a good school. देखिए
हाँ.
हर गुड स्कूल को एनकाउंटर पार्ट भी रहेगा. ओके अगर आप वही टीचर स्टूडेंट को जो अच्छा नॉलेज देने के बजाय अगर आप रॉन्ग नॉलेज इफ यू ट्राई टू गिव इट टू देम द स्कूल विल कॉल इट एज अ बैड स्कूल. देखिए एक ही आदमी टू थिंग्स कर सकता है अगर सोचा
गलत.
हाँ सही गलत दो करता है. देखिए यहाँ पे इसको ही वर्च्यू बोलते हैं. जो आदमी का जहन होता है if he wants to if he thinks in a right way always that it shall be called it as justice. Okay. Every justice has its own counterpart. A good school also can impart a knowledge to that bad student. Okay. A good school if it wanted to make a good student that it shall be called as justice. A good school if it produce a bad student it shall not be called it as a justice. Do you understand my point? Isn't it? तो हर आदमी को हर ऑब्जेक्ट को नेचर में सही काम करने का भी नॉलेज दिया है और रॉन्ग बैड वर्क्स भी करने का नॉलेज दिया है. लेकिन जो भी काम कर रहे हैं सही तरीके से करना है उसको क्या बोलते हैं धर्म बोलते हैं उसको बोलते हैं जस्टिस बोलते हैं. The similarly a good horse you take it as an example I told you good school good horse if what is called as good horse if good horse if the horse will help a soldier to win the war it is called justice. Okay, a horse which helps the soldier to wins the war it is called justice. अगर आप वही अगर घोड़ा अगर सोल्जर को वार में अगर जिताया तो उसको क्या बोलते हैं जस्टिस बोलते. अगर वही घोड़ा deliberately if the same horse deliberately makes the soldiers to lose in the war it is not called as a justice. Do you understand my point? Because there is a two things. God hearts can do them. Okay. A school can do the bad also. A horse can do the bad also. Okay. Because it is based on the humans. Justice के माने यही होते हैं. And the next one is the knife. Okay. A knife is that you can say the good knife, isn't it? I'll tell you one thing. If a knife actually it produced or innovated or invented for doing good for the society. So जी आप जहन लगा के and think that ఒకసారి ఆలోచించండి ఒకవేళ ఇఫ్ నైఫ్ ఆ ఇన్నోవేషన్ అనేది ప్రపంచానికి నాశనం చేయడానికి పుట్టుంటే నైఫ్ ని ఇన్నోవేషన్ చేసేవాళ్ళ
కాదు.
వెరీ గుడ్. దేర్ ఇస్ నో పాయింట్ ఆఫ్ రీజన్ టు ఇన్నోవేటింగ్ ద నైఫ్. A knife innovation has done because the use of a knife must bring the progress of society. Cutting the vegetables which is welfare to the human's life, isn't it? अगर आप सोचिए अगर आप knife अगर the things which are instead of cutting a vegetable that the knives are doing things to and cut throat of every humans, can you imagine the society and universe?
नहीं सर सब खत्म हो जाता.
That what is the knife duty? Duty of a knife is that to welfare the society, which is called justice, isn't it? Which is called justice. Do you understand my point? So and this is the one example which I have given to you to understand what is the meaning of this. So हर आदमी के जहन में two things रहते हैं. Okay. One is bad and good. हाँ तो सही करना है इसको justice बोलते हैं. Doesn't mean that you should and think in a very higher level what is called as a justice. You know. And sometimes we use the word, okay, conscious, what conscious are saying, okay. Conscious के माने क्या होते हैं? Heart, a kind of a things, a kind of a mind, a kind of your heart, what it is saying, it is a right, isn't it? If the things which you do it and against the heart and everything, that it shall be called it as a wrong assertion, isn't it? And it is not called as a justice, isn't it? Now, in modern political thinker, his name is that Ernest Barker. What is his name? Ernest Barker. So Ernest Barker and which have said it that providing all the opportunities to every individual to in order to enjoy his liberty, freedom, rights and all this thing it shall be called as a justice. अगर एक आदमी को सही तरीके से जीने के लिए अगर यहाँ पर प्रोवाइड कर सकते हैं अपॉर्चुनिटी, तो उसको बोलते हैं, and what is it? Entire, it is a justice. So if you see that justice had become a very, very important thing, and there are types of justices. One is an, legal justice, which is called legislative justice. Do you understand that? What is it? Any laws are being prepared that it should be in the form of justice only. Okay, agar aap kaun si bhi law, and if you are bringing in the state, that it shall be comes under the purview of an justice. So all these things, which it should be infused in your fifth lesson, you can read it. Tomorrow we'll start then concept of third unit, which is political institutions. वहां पर अपन सीखेंगे Montesquieu theory of separation will discuss, and executive, its functions and significance. And the next lesson, eighth lesson, will discuss about legislature, its compositions and the importance of a legislature. And the ninth lesson, that is in this third unit, will discuss about judicial review and judiciary. Okay.
Okay.
So we'll see you. Bye-bye. And those who are other people, also inform them. We'll meet you in the next class, which means in tomorrow itself. Okay.
I don't have anyone. मेरे पास किसी का नंबर नहीं है सर, नहीं तो मैं देता था, मगर बताता था। ये आपका फर्स्ट क्लास था सर?
No, लास्ट वीक भी ले चुका हूँ मैं क्लास, और उसके बाद 2 क्लासेस होंगे, कल भी होंगे एक क्लास, और उसके बाद और one more class also will be done.
12, 13, 14 है शायद, कल परसों संडे तक.
Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you, everyone.
Have a good day, sir.